Life in the Shire is so relaxing here, Jared. It's just so nice to put my feet up. You've been working so hard today. Life isn't all about hard work. There's quite a few guys that are working really long hours out there, Jared. And I think about Furious Dragon is one of them. Steve Beckett's been working really hard. Quite a few other guys out there and lasses are working really hard at the moment, and they've just said to me they've been catching up on the videos over the weekend. So thank you everyone for doing that. I hope you're enjoying these videos. We are trying to entertain, and hopefully it's bringing you some light entertainment. But this little piggy went to market, this little piggy stayed at home, this little piggy had roast beef, and this little piggy had none, and this little piggy went all the way home. Anyway, talking of updating you, I've had some really good feedback, Jared. Jared, you asked a question last week. Now, because of my hip, I might need you to help me get my feet down because I'm stuck at the moment. This is not as comfortable as it looks. When you've got a hip issue, which I have, you very carefully just take them down, Jared. Oh, there we go. Lovely. I think I should be able to manage the second one. Wonderful. I'll bring my feet closer. There we go. So, what was your question, Jared, about the format of the channel that you wanted to discuss?
Well, I was just trying to think of the best way to meet what people want, and personally what I like as well. But
yeah.
Whether that would be to have part 1 about snakes, and part 2 your little skits, or having 2 different channels, or just having all in one.
Okay. So I think it's a good question, and we should always be looking at improving our channel all the time. And believe you me, there's a lot of room for improvement, Jared. Even though I think we are trying to give out content, I know that there could be a higher quality of content, but you are getting uncut versions of what we're doing, and with that I think will come the warts and all. Or in my case, what did you say my feet had, Jared?
Your real feet or those ones?
Go and have another look at them. You describe them. You're going to get warts and all, aren't you? Look. Yeah. Does everyone like my feet? Jared thinks they're better than my real feet, don't you, Jared?
Yeah. Nice to look at.
If you spend too much time in wellies or too much time in chest wading boots when you're fishing, and you fish and walk for ages, believe you me, in playing squash for 3 hours on a squash court, your feet take a hammering, and my feet unfortunately have been well worked. But no, it's my feet have been quite a few places, and I think it's important for us to use our feet wisely and to stand on holy ground, be not moved. I think it's also important to go out to people and reach out in love, and our feet are the carriers of us to the places that we need to go. So let's put our feet in the right place. Let's also remember to put our feet up, Jared. You can just drop that down a little bit if you like, because we're now going to get into some feedback. So let's start, of course, with the first bit of feedback. So Jush. So he was commenting on the video called New Arrivals and the Hep Hide projects and the video production, Jared. And you asked the question, that film, as you said earlier, of what format we're going to go forward. Now, Jush says he prefers a cut version.
Yeah, edited.
But he doesn't want us to cut too much. He wants us not to be too serious a channel. He thinks if we lose our humour, then he's not going to be happy. Yeah. So he wants a well-cut version, but full of humour, which I think Jared likes as well, don't you, Jared? You like a cut version?
I like it edited, yeah.
Yeah.
Get rid of any waffle or any...
Well, what we might do, Jared, is as you're editing our thumbnails now, I might get you to do the edit of the film. So
I'll try it. I'll give it a go.
We'll give Jared a chance to do an edit, and you guys can tell me whether you like Jared's edits. So I think that's a good skill for Jared to be able to do.
The next video we'll do edit.
Do you want to do the edit, Jared?
On the next one, yeah.
So Jared will do it on the next one. Then we've got Joey. He says, I love the... sorry, I can't even... I have to put my glasses on here. Sorry about this. That's better. He says he loves the dreamsicles. And we better just show them how the dreamsicles are doing. You check the dreamsicles, Jared. Let's have a quick look at them. See how they're settling in. Very, very good, Jared. I might get them a hide, actually. Shall I tell you why I think we should give them a hide?
Why?
Because they're still quite small in a big space. So we've got a couple of hides.
See if they eat tonight. If they don't...
Oh, yeah, of course. Eat tonight first. Yeah, okay. And then Bowser. Let's have a look. There There you go, that's just for Joey, because he loves them so much. And the potential is incredible. What are we going to do with these, Jared?
Make loads of dreamsicles.
Make loads of dreamsicles, which will be available.
And maybe stick a few more genes in, see if we can get some even prettier dreamsicles.
Yeah, and the mail's up for plugging in now, so we can put them into our 100% het pies that we bought when they're ready. So the idea is that he'll come into his own. Let me just take off my plastic feet here, because to be honest with you, it's not the most comfortable thing to be wearing. Not in an 80-degree ambient temperature. Poor Jared will have to put up with cheese sandwiches for lunch, Jared, won't you?
Oh dear, that's really feeling a bit sick this morning.
It's almost lunchtime. We've been Jared and I have been in here cleaning since about 9. It's nearly lunchtime 1. We've had 4 hours of cleaning and we haven't even finished the adults yet, have we, Jared? We're going to have to do that. Should we feed them first? Well, we should clean anything that needs cleaning, but not going to be too messy when it's feeding night. And that's probably a good policy, actually. Another little tip is don't over clean, particularly when you've got things happening, breeding, feeding. If you disturb and make it too clinical, they might just switch off. So that's another tip. But obviously, if it's poo and you want to get it out, you know, we can spot clean the poo, get it out, can't we, Jared? Do a quick clean. Then tomorrow we do a really good clean, I think. Also, we're going to try and offer some food to our girl that's being nursed in the hospital as well. So we've got some, another top tip is we've got some extra multis out to help any animals that need extra food, because when you are nursing an animal back to health, they will lose a lot of weight, and the vets will guide us, and the vet's guidance on that one was they said that it would be safer to not feed them, so that they put all their energy into getting better. And I thought, okay, that's fair enough, because you know a lot of other extra pressures put on an animal's body when it's eating. But then there's that balance, which is that after several weeks the animal itself obviously will start to lose weight, and we don't want it getting too weak that it can't actually fight for its survival. So I think the time is right for us to offer some food to her and see if that helps at all. And if it does, that would be great. The good news is that Kaz has said that her snake has eaten twice now, Jared, on Maltese. So that's a good sign that a snake is on the mend. If they're able to have the strength to feed, and your virus is getting on top of the virus, if they start feeding, that's normally a good indicator that they're doing better, stronger, and they might have another second attack of it. So I think Kaz said that the vets advised her not to put Zuri back into the collection for another 4 or 5 weeks, because you can get a second attack hit you later. You might think it's all clean. So prudence tells us that you feed it, get it back up to strength, and then you have it examined again before you re-enter your collection. So that's a good thing, I think, Jared. Anyway, coming back to the video production, Joey loves the dreamsicles. He thinks they're absolutely gorgeous. He enjoys all the content, whatever format it takes. He loves it, and he says he wants a quote for the day to return because he's missing it. So I said that we would do that. Have we done our quote for
you've done
the day?
Your quote.
Yeah, okay.
Previous one.
Yeah, JM reckons that the projects are great. He loves what we're doing with the projects. He says, great projects, guys. And Hamlin has got 3 things he put up here and his feedback. I mean, initially he's saying he's happy as it is, and he'll watch it, the full video, even if it's split into chapters, because he was picking up on Chris B's idea of splitting one video into several chapters, so you could actually have what they call a timestamp. It involves doing a bit of editing, but you'd actually have a timestamp that says this bit's all about snakes, this bit's a little bit about the subscribers' news, this bit's about humanitarian, this bit's spiritual. And then people can look at the tabs and say, I want to go up to that level because I'm interested in snakes, or I want to go up to this level because I want to know what the news is as far as the community is concerned. Or they might say, I really want to find out what Paul's feeling is on humanitarian support and the issues of the day, because for some people they really enjoy that. So the idea is that Chris B was suggesting we could split it up that way and keep it to one video still, but he said it gives people the choices to go in and out of different segments of your video. It keeps the family happier, because then people can take what they want from it without having to kind of go through stuff they don't want to see. So I'm very thinking, if you do the edits, Jared, and you've got more time, you might better do that.
Yeah, I'll try it.
I haven't got time, unfortunately, because I know that the moment I get into editing, honestly, I mean, we spend 3 or 4 hours cleaning and filming every day in here for you guys, and if I go into another 3 hour of edit, my day's gone and I can't look after my main business. So that's the reason why you're getting uncut, really, even though I do quite enjoy uncut. But if Jared is willing to step up and do the editing, like he has with the thumbnails, it could take us to the next level of quality, because Jared breeds quality throughout, quite literally, not only in the snakes, but in his own personal life. He's just a quality person. And of course I'm biased because I'm his dad, but he's just quality all round. He always seems to catch more fish than anyone else wherever we go. As a kid, we used to go down to Cornwall and didn't have a fishing net or a bucket or anything, and Jared was a little, 3 or 4 year old, and he's walking up one of the little, when the water comes out and goes into the beach, and Jared's putting his hand underneath the sand and he's trying to find flatfish, and I think he even found some little salmon part, didn't you?
Yeah.
You caught him in your hands. He brings it up to me and says, "Dad, look what I've got." I'm thinking, Jared's just one of these guys. He's just so productive in everything he does. He doesn't need net or, he just uses his hand. He improvises really well. So I'm really blessed to have a wonderful son in Jared, and I do love you, Jared, and you're just a fantastic son. So
thank you.
You're one of my best ever buddies as well. So besides being a son, we're best of friends, which we can talk openly with one another, can't we, Jared? And
yeah.
We love one another a lot. So Hamlin, what did he say? He said, number one, he says, the most important priority is do what fits in with your personal life. So I like that. That shows great sensitivity to what I'm about and what I'm trying to do. So we should take that into consideration, Jared. So thank you, Hamlin. Secondly, he says he likes the fact that we don't monetize. And he says by not monetizing, you have the right to do what you want to do. Because the moment you monetize or start selling on your channel, or you start to promote on your channel, you have an obligation to those that you are taking revenue from. That's why we don't want to take revenue on our channels, because although there is one person out there that thinks that we're gearing up for monetization, which I think he's misled again and wrong, is that we don't want to do that, and we want to just keep this channel very simple, straightforward. And to be honest with you, I just hate adverts. You know how much I hate adverts. So, thank you, Hamlin. And then the third suggestion that Hamlin says, he likes Chris B's point about the timestamps because he thinks it will please everyone individually. So he's kind of backing Chris on that, but he's obviously giving us the freedom to choose, which is lovely. Thank you, Hamlin. We do appreciate your feedback, and very valued feedback. Now, Dutchy Royal Python has given us a suggestion to look at the Streamyard for streaming live videos, which I haven't looked at yet, which I've got actually on the thing here. But we'll have a quick look at it. So this is an idea, and I've got another person that does a lot of podcasting that she's been messaging me on a private level, and she's offered us some software to help us with our live streaming. The issue is not really so much software, because Adam's given me all the software to do good live streaming. The issue for us is hardware, getting hold of the right chips, getting the right processing chips, sound chips, and the right graphic card and sound cards. Because of COVID, there's a shortage. So I think as soon as we get the right computer, and we've got good computers, but we need a really high-end computer to do really good live streaming, I think, Jared. But let's have a look at this suggestion by Dutchy Royals. Look at Streamyard for streaming. So let's have a look at this for a second. Oh, I've been prompted to share a little thought with you. It is useless to meet revenge with revenge. It will heal nothing. Do you get that, Jared? Mm-hmm. Do you know that quote, which is in the book? Do you know who wrote the book, by the way?
Tolkien.
Tolkien wrote the book. The filmmakers have not taken everything from the book for the film, and this is one really gem of knowledge they just decided not to put in the film. That won't be in the film, but this is what Frodo has said. It says this is a quote that Frodo says is in the books, but it's not in the movies, but it is also one of the wisest quotes. The line has a lot of wisdom in it, as it reminds us all that revenge isn't the way to handle problems. Even if someone else has been vengeful and cruel, meeting them on their level will only drag you down. It also won't cause any of the healing that you would want. This is definitely one of Frodo's best quotes to remember, and try to live by it. So, I think that might come into one of our movies this week, as we are preparing ourselves for some battling, and there will be some unsavoury characters attacking us. here. So we will use that wisdom of Frodo, who says don't fire with fire. Yeah, the quickest way of putting out a fire is to, meaning blow out the candle. You start pouring fuel on a little spark, then you've created a fire that will be hard to put out. So the key to life is nipping in the bud early. That's why you'll see me taking a lot of cleansing action when I need to early. If I see anyone out there that is messing us about, and I perceive it to be messing us about, then it will be arrivederci, just to warn anyone who's thinking about it. If they say there's any private messages on email or on Facebook, and the opening line normally when someone's about to attack you, they start by saying, this is not an attack on you. That's not the classic beginning of an email. When they say that, brace yourself for an attack, because that normally is the case. Not in every case, there will be some people there that won't attack you, but they normally open their gambit by saying, you know, this is no attack on you. And also, the other thing to watch out for, as I had this week, is that when someone asks you for their help, and then it's a trap to basically attack you, and it's not really a help, know when to close them down and know when to say goodbye, arrivederci. Don't get drawn in. So it's like, nip it in the bud early. So, excellent advice. I would go along with that. Let's build each other up. Let's stay united. Let's actually work together to fight against the evil forces. What was I about to show you? I was about to show you the streaming. Yeah. So this is called Streamyard. Okay. The easiest way to create professional live streams is this guy here. Streamyard is a live streaming studio in your browser. You can interview guests, you can share your Facebook, your YouTube and your LinkedIn and any other platforms. To get started, they want your email address, and then you go through a process. Let's have a look and see what the reviews are. So these are the reviews. I've been blown away by Streamyard's incredible software and technology. It enables me to execute my message to the world. He's an entrepreneur, and he gives you an example of how to do it, so you can click on there. I won't do it now in the interest of time. And there's a few other reviews there. This is wonderful. I'm a senior citizen and have used this a few times, and it's much easier than any other platform. Now, who does that remind you of, Joe? I thought that was Ricky, what's his name, off The Office?
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, he looks a bit like Ricky Gervais. Do you think I look a bit like Ricky Gervais? Nah. I mean, how does Ricky Gervais go? He kind of like, yeah, he laughs, doesn't he? He kind of laughs like this. He's from Slough. You know, he's like a Slough boy. He's just outside of London, and I've been told I look a bit like Ricky Gervais, but I don't think I do. Do you think so, Jared?
No.
Well,
I don't think you do.
And just as well, because we work in an office together, don't we, Jared?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be too much shenanigans going on if I was like Ricky. But he is funny, though. I must admit, he is funny. I don't agree with all of his humour, but on the whole, he's a pretty funny guy. And then the last one here is my personal favourite live streaming tool. It's amazing. I have no other words than that. Desiree Martinez, all-in-one social media. Now she looks like she's fun. She uses her mobile phone to stream live stream. So thank you, Dutch Draggy, not Dutch Dragon, Dutchy Ball Pythons, is it? Suggested that. Oh yeah, Dutchy. My glasses on. Oh, Dutchy Royal Pythons, who I think does a lot of live streaming. Thank you, we really appreciate your suggestion. And Jared, if you do the edits, you can have a look at that to help us, and I'll get Adam to look at that, to do that. So, just to finish off now, Jared, I promised that I would share something uplifting. So those that do not want anything spiritually uplifting, this is your chance to say arrivederci. Thank you very much for the video. Please go if you don't want to see this. This is now letting you into a part of my life, which I find is very sacred to me, and I want this to be a message of comfort to those that have lost loved ones, and I want this to be a message of comfort to those that are struggling in bereavement, particularly in COVID. And as a young 18-year-old missionary, the media that we had in those days was linked to this. We used to have backpacks, used to carry little films, and these little films used to be like just slide films. They weren't proper movies, they were just like little slides with music in the background, and as a missionary you used to turn them, and we used to project them on walls in people's homes, or even on ceilings, you know, because they were white ceilings, and it used to share a spiritual message that we would discuss as missionaries to help people that are suffering with bereavement. And we had one experience with a family that had just had a baby, and they ended up actually being baptized, and they joined our church. and it was the film that touched them the most. And although it's set in the 1980s, and you'll see, you're going to laugh at some of the old footage here, but the message is so powerful. And probably what I'll do is I'll sing it as well with the guitar. But this is a message for anyone that's lost a loved one, to give you hope that families really are forever, as well as animals are forever too. So let me see if I can find it. Now, we're not going to watch the whole film. So this is a story about a young mother that's about to have a baby. She's got a couple of kids. She's a super mum. She does everything. She pivots around her children. She plays baseball with them. Obviously it's an American family. She plays baseball with them. She helps them with their homework. She obviously takes care of their physical needs, their emotional needs, their spiritual needs. She's like this amazing mum. And this young little kid here loves his mother so much. But I'll just let the video and the song share the story with you guys. But the message is that families are they really are forever. And here we go. Let's see how it goes. Joe, just take the controls.
And he had some great friends, but his greatest friend was his mom. Not in some sissy way or anything like that. She was just different than the other moms. While they were busy going to their fashion shows and their bridge parties, she was home with him. They'd play in the backyard, they'd go on bike rides, they'd have long talks. Why, she was the greatest football player on the whole block. Well, at least that's what the other guys said. You know, they thought she was really something, and they wished their moms could be more like that. I'll build you a rainbow, way high above, sing down a sunbeam, all full of love, sprinkle down raindrops, teardrops of joy. I'll be happy as springtime, watching over my boy. One day, Jamie was called home from school. And there was a big white ambulance in the driveway, and Jamie ran to the front door and saw his dad talking to the doctor. Jamie was scared. They said he could only talk to his mom for a minute. And when he tiptoed into the bedroom and saw her lying on the bed, she smiled and said, "Hi, Big J." That's what she always called him, even though he really wasn't very big. She said he had a big heart. She said, "Jamie, I'm going away, and I won't be coming back. I'm dying." And big tears came into Jamie's eyes, and he said, "But Mom, you just can't die. Mom, you just can't." And she said, "It's okay. There's no regrets. Why, I've been with you more in 8 years than most moms have been with their boys in a whole lifetime." He said, "I know, Mom, I know, but you just can't die." And she said, "Jamie, there's a secret, and it's a special secret, and I want you always to remember it. Families are forever. I'll build you a rainbow, way high above, send down a sunbeam, love full of love, sprinkle down raindrops, teardrops of joy. I'll be happy as springtime, watching over my boy." held each other real tight. Jamie could feel his dad's teardrops on his own cheeks, and he started to cry too. And then he remembered the secret. And he looked up and he said, Dad, it's all right. Families are forever. I'll build you a rainbow way up high above. Sing down sunbeam, love full of love. Sprinkle down raindrops, teardrops of joy. I'll be happy as springtime, watching over my boy. I'll be happy in heaven, watching over my boy.
Wow, that's a powerful message, Jared. And I remember it really bringing tears to the eyes of this mother that I was teaching as a missionary, and she was full of tears. She just had a baby, and to this day this family who joined the church embraced these teachings, went and served missions themselves, and are still active Christians in the faith. And for me, all the obstacles that we go through as young missionaries to get out there and to teach, the number of people that reject us and throw doors at us and slam the doors in our faces and don't want to hear this message, it's all worthwhile, because when you find one family that takes comfort from such a profound message of love and peace and happiness, it makes that mission so worthwhile. And I hope that message is helping one or two of you out there, particularly those that are going through bereavements or loss. Families really are forever, and so are animals, and so are pets. If we love and respect one another, we have the opportunity one day to be together and to be reunited, to never die again, all because of our Saviour's love, who laid down his life for us. And he was the first to be resurrected, physically resurrected, not spiritually. When we live together, we will have a perfect, immortalized body of flesh and bones. We won't necessarily have blood flowing through our veins, but I believe that we'll have some other energy source that will keep us eternally forever people, and our spirits and our bodies will be reunited one day. And I'd like to leave you that thought, sending you lots of love, particularly for those, as I say, who may be struggling with bereavement at this time. And not everyone will be able to say goodbye to their loved ones, but it makes the bereavement even harder, and our hearts go out to those that have lost ones that can't even give them a hug or final hug before they pass. But there will come a day where you will embrace your loved ones again, and they do look down and they do shine rainbows and raindrops upon us. And then when you see a rainbow, I want you to think about that. We love you. We hope you have a lovely end to your day, and good luck with the competition, and we shall hopefully see you tomorrow. Goodbye for now.